Hello, Internet. So, I'm pushing the point of vlogging. I've always been a bit shy to show my face on the camera, but why not? There's literally nothing to lose in sharing myself here. So, what I was going to speak about today is a pattern of mine that I've been slowly but surely becoming more and more aware of through being in a committed relationship now. That pattern is the tendency. Oh, there's a guy sleeping in a box here. I don't know if he's homeless or what, but I just walked past a guy who's sleeping in a box. I just noticed. Anyway, strange. Strange in such a rich country like Japan. So this pattern I've been noticing is something I've been doing for a long time. My earliest memory of this was maybe like 7 years old or something like that, when I wanted to run away from home. And sure enough, I got the idea somewhere like in TV, in a movie or something. And what I did, it was obviously so half-baked that I did just take it somewhere and not consider the practicalities of it, because I remember packing up my bag with like clothes and like some food and like candy and stuff, and then like getting as far as like the forest near my house, and then realizing like I have no fucking idea where I'm gonna go or how I'm gonna survive or how anything in this world works, and pretty quickly turned around and headed back home. So anyway, that's my earliest memory of that. But it's turned into a general pattern of like running away from conflict, and just more specifically actually situations where I feel like I'm being attacked, and it's almost like the way that I perceive it in my mind, the way that I paint the picture of it in my mind is like I'm just quietly going about my business and keeping to myself as I do. There's another one. Weird. Fucking weird. Anyway, so the way I paint the picture to myself is I'm just like quietly going about my business, and then all of a sudden someone just like bursts into the scene of my life and is angry and ranting and raving, yelling at me, and I don't know why. I don't understand why. And I feel like I don't know how to deal with it other than to maybe fight back. And yet that's not really like something I want to do either. So I just sort of say to myself, fuck that person, and just sort of blacklist them in my own mind. And that's it. I just don't deal with them. That's happened with all kinds of people, from friends to family to especially like jobs is a really prominent one. I tend to not take any shit whatsoever with jobs, and as soon as I feel someone's trying to have power and like lord over me, it's like, get the fuck out of here. So through being in a committed relationship, I'm seeing that you can't do that, obviously. And thinking forward to potentially if I were to ever have children one day, you obviously can't do that with your children. Your children are your children. You've got to take responsibility for them and support them and be there for them unconditionally. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to accept abuse, blatant misbehavior as abuse, without directing it. You have to find a way to temper your own reactions. Oh, there's a big truck coming here. I'm going to let it pass me. You have to stand clear within yourself to find the best possible way to assist and support the person that you're dealing with, rather than seeing them as an inconvenience or a threat. As a burden, using excuses like, I just want to have peace and quiet. I just want to have a happy life. I don't want to have any problems. I mean, this is not a mindset that enables you in any way. One of the most prominent examples that's coming to mind is people that are sort of like, not even friends, but maybe just people that just people that are just in your life and you never even get that close to. Maybe they're just acquaintances or whatever. And so you feel that it's easy to just cut them out. You feel it's easy to just say, oh, fuck that person. I'll never have to deal with them again. But the fact is you're still living in this world with that person, no matter what the physical distances between you two. You're both here in this world, participating in it, co-creating it, having an effect and ripple effect on it. So, it's like if I don't deal with it, someone else has to, but you can't depend on other people to do all the heavy lifting and the dirty work in life for you. I mean, if we all within ourselves alone made that decision to be self-responsible and direct points that need direction in this world, to assist ourselves and each other when needed and take that responsibility, the world would be a much different place, a much better place. And when I use this example, I think of the people in this world who do the really sort of heavy lifting, the people who work in law enforcement, the people who work in healthcare, the people that deal with the really tough stuff. It's like we put that burden on such a small percentage of people who and even then they're just doing it because it's like that's their designated role, that's their way that they make money and survive in this world, so they sort of have to, they have no choice. And from a certain perspective, it's like a video I remember Guian Roberts making a while ago, where he talked about when we dispose of trash and we use the expression, with trash and garbage, we use the expression throw it away. There is no away. That trash is always here. It has to be dealt with. It has to be directed. It's the same thing with ourselves. It's the same thing when we're having, rabid, out of control thoughts. It's the same thing when people require that assistance. You can't just think and say to yourself, oh, just have them go away, because there is no away. So one of the main roadblocks I see for myself from standing within this point is this victim mentality. you know, for instance, growing up in my family where I was the youngest person in my family, and having this perception that things just happened to me, you know, again, people just like came out of the woodworks and would just attack, and I would feel like I'm innocent, like I don't know what to do, like I don't have the ability to stand up or direct the point. And really, the problem is allowing myself to just sort of wallow in those memories, to let those memories rehash and be triggered resonantly every single time I have a similar experience where it's like I feel like I'm being attacked and it's unjustified, and so I feel like I'm threatened and it's unjust, and therefore I don't have to deal with it. It's not my problem. Sure, sometimes you have to, you know, let people react, because sometimes in the moment of people going through what they go through, in that moment that they're sort of in a reaction possession, there might be very little you can do, and sometimes you do have to sort of let people cool down and stew in their own reactions. But that doesn't mean that, you know, that's not the same as basically just saying like, fuck off forever, I'm never gonna deal with this. You have to have the resolve that if you do have an opportunity, you'll take it, that you'll do whatever it takes to assist that being to ground themselves by first grounding yourself, by not reacting, not going into those resonant memories that have you living in fear of what others might apparently do to you, and stand up, and through standing up through that reaction that you know you're having, you know, you're showing yourself and therefore able to show others that it is just that. It is just a reaction. It's not who they are, and that we can stand up and breathe and walk through it. So that's all I have to say for now. I'm in Tokyo right now. It's my last night here. Bye-bye, Tokyo. Bye-bye, Internet.